A new Thai visa with a work permit. Thailand Pass must be improved, and there's another oil leak in Rayong. That's all coming up in today's Good Morning Thailand. Hello and Good Morning Thailand with Jay and Tim.
Good morning.
Sponsored by Coffee Culture.
Coffee culture.
That's
mugs.
Mugs,
Oh,
coffee
bell.
galore, and a bell.
And something strange. I don't know what's changed.
I don't know. I woke up today, came to office, and I just felt different.
It's something just different. Anyway.
Maybe it's just the excitement of the
I have
weekend.
no idea what it is.
Anyways, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a lot of topics to talk about today, so let's just crack on. Firstly,
Yeah.
a reminder that we have a survey going on. So if you go to our YouTube page, click on community, you can take part in the survey and give your answer to the question, and we'll read out the answers at the end. Do we know what the question is, Tim?
Yes.
What is the question?
Funny you should ask. What's the main thing
Yes.
stopping you from travelling to Thailand at the moment? And so we've given them 5 options. I mean,
Okay.
sadly, with the survey, you can only vote for one. But there's plenty of room for comments underneath. So I'm sure Carmel. Hi, Carmel.
Hello, Carmel. Carmel's back.
She's not talking. She's
Yep.
lost her voice.
She has.
But she'll be reading out some of your comments at the end, and maybe some of the comments from the survey. One is too many hassles
Yes.
and red tape with a Thailand pass.
Okay.
Not planning to travel right now, but I'm planning a trip later. Things keep changing. Difficult to make concrete plans. Option 4, it's just not a good time to travel anywhere at the moment. And option 5 is too many curbs like mask wearing and nightlife restrictions. So they're the 5 options we've given. You might have your own comments which you can add underneath, and Carmel will address those later as well. So go to the survey, and we look forward to reading out your responses. I've got another survey we'll talk about later too.
That's right. Let's start off, Tim, today talking about that there's another leak in the underwater oil pipeline off the Rayong coast.
I can't believe that. I don't know this story, but that's horrendous. They've had 2 leaks already, and
Yes.
now there's another one.
Yes, this is a smaller one, a very small one, but you're right, this is the 3rd one, and although small, how damaged is this pipeline that it keeps leaking again
I'm wondering
and
if
again?
it's the same place.
Yes, well, I believe it's further along the pipeline.
Oh, okay.
The company reported it, and they're actually waiting to repair it. They've already got oil booms and 10 ships with degreaser sprays and oil skimmers on standby, and they're just waiting for approval to go and repair them. But maybe it's time to change the entire pipeline.
That's what I'm thinking. If they've had 3 breaches on the pipeline over the past, less than a month,
Yeah.
literally 3 weeks, then I think this pipe, the first leak was 22 kilometres offshore.
Yes.
So I'm assuming the pipe goes back to the shore. That's 22 kilometres of pipeline.
Yes.
So they're going to have to get out the duct tape and, I don't know, what's those things the plasticine stuff you put over leaks?
I
They're going to
guess.
have to go down to the nearest Home Pro, grab a few litres of that and get working. But you're right. I mean, I think probably the pipe is beyond repair, perhaps.
Perhaps. But even the people that were, they made great efforts in trying to clean up the water. They've had, beach cleanups and water cleanups, and they've been monitoring it. But a lot of the people who have been swimming have been complaining that, hey guys, like, look at this oil goo we found.
Oil goo.
Swimming in the water, they feel like the water's unclean, it's smelly. I would not go anywhere near that beach if I was in Rayong.
Now,
Forget about it. Why would you?
When you're thinking about a pipeline, are you envisaging something like a big PVC pipe, or are you thinking something like a big, huge concrete pipe?
Giant, big
That's what
concrete
I'm
pipe.
seeing as well, yeah. That's going to be pretty expensive to fix.
It's definitely not a PVC pipe.
It's
Just a
bit
tiny
of-
blue one.
a bit of blue
Yeah.
PVC,
All right.
which the Thais do amazing things with, by the way.
Yes, they do. All right, our second topic. Let's talk about the survey, Tim.
Oh, this other survey?
Yes.
So this was one of those surveys I went, what? When I read it. It's been run by ASEAN Now.
Okay.
Formerly known as Thai visa. And the questions were asked about how expats, basically English-speaking people who are travelling to Thailand or are in Thailand, what they think about unvaccinated travellers.
Okay.
And I was a bit shocked by the results. Now, admittedly, there was less than 1,000 people surveyed, but the first question was, are you vaccinated? 84% said yes. It sort of went downhill from there. Do you agree that people's rights to remain unvaccinated? 24% disagree, and only 11% agreed. Do you agree with people's rights to remain unvaccinated? Only 11% thought they had a right to remain unvaccinated. I was a little bit shocked with that.
Okay.
Do you think government has the right to impose restrictions on arrival for unvaccinated people? 74% said yes.
Okay.
Should airlines place unvaccinated people in separate areas in the cabin? 65% said yes. That really surprised me.
Yes.
They perhaps should have had another question. Should they put them in the cargo hold underneath?
Yeah.
And see how many people...
This survey should have just been called "Let's Shame the Unvaccinated."
I think that's exactly what it's doing. I was a little bit surprised. I think people are just a little bit intolerant with this. Would you be happy to travel with unvaccinated people? What would you say? Would you be happy to travel with unvaccinated people?
In the same plane? Let's say if I was a tourist and I was coming to Thailand, they'd have to go through the same process as me, which is doing a PCR test, so I'd be fine.
Okay, well, 41% said yes, 59% said no. That's a little bit closer. During the pandemic, did the locals treat you differently as an expat due to COVID? Now, people don't really see you as an expat, do they? They sort of treat you like a local because you can speak Thai and you look sort of...
What are you trying to say, Tim?
Well, you don't look... Oh, I don't know. It's not
I
going
don't
to
look
sound...
Australian, do I?
Whatever I say is not going to sound good there. During the pandemic, did the locals treat you differently as an expat? Speaking personally, I'd say no, not really. I never really faced much. I mean, there's the usual sort of xenophobia you get from time to time, but it's
Privileged
pretty rare.
white man in Asian country.
All that sort of thing, but I get that very, very rarely.
Okay.
Like, only 10 times a day. 15% said yes, and 64% said no. 21% said to some extent.
All right.
So I'm not sure if that's higher or lower generally, but interesting survey there.
Yep.
I just found it a little bit intolerant, some of the answers. Carmel had a response.
Carmel's good.
There's actually so many different responses to the survey, but then the one that I picked out was from West TX Greg. And he said 65% of people are uneducated as you can still carry the virus vaccinated or not.
Yeah.
And that's true. And I think there is still a lot of misinformation or misunderstanding of quite complicated information around.
And just fear and uncertainty.
Yes. Any more?
From Joe Dirt, he
Joe
said
Dirt,
that
really?
I would happily get on a plane even if everyone was unvaccinated and nobody was tested.
Okay, there you go. I think Joe's stamped his nail to the wall there.
All right.
And yeah, we've got Carmel here, who's filtering your questions.
A lot of the times I feel people forget that there are a lot of health reasons that some people can't get vaccinated as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know, it's easy to just say like, oh, here's my opinion, but just consider everybody has their own reasons.
Sure, and I've always thought that people should have the right to be unvaccinated if they want. Some countries are imposing vaccine mandates. I personally don't agree with that, but I don't run the countries.
Yeah, everyone I know is vaccinated. I think our entire office is vaccinated.
Yes, but we have allowed people, if they're unvaccinated, to come to the office.
Yes.
They have to sit on the balcony, but they still can come to the office.
With like a see-through door in the middle.
There's a big brick wall between them and us, but otherwise they're free to come to the office.
Same, but different.
Someone's going to take us seriously, I'm sure.
All right, our next topic is regarding the new visa that allows you to work. The new Elite visa, the 10-year visa, actually gives you a work permit, and this is the first time this has ever happened.
Yeah, there's a thing in Thailand called the Elite Visa Program, It's sort of got it. I'd like to explain this simply, but it's not quite simple. In fact, I just quickly tried to find out the current costs of the Elite Visa. It gives you access to come to Thailand between 5 and 20 years. Okay. And it used to cost sort of between about 500,000 and 2 million baht. Mm-hmm. But that sort of changed. So I'm not aware of the current costs, or even though very quickly before the show I tried to find out. But one thing they had on the Elite Visa was the condition that you can't work.
Yes.
Now, if you want to work in Thailand, you have to get a thing called a B visa.
Yes.
Or a B visa, which is a business visa, which places like the Thaiger, for example, gives B visas to foreign employees.
Yeah. For example, I've lived in Thailand for 20 years, and even though I'm a permanent resident of Thailand, I need a work permit to work in Thailand.
That is bizarre.
And I've been here 20 years. I speak the language. I mean, you know.
Have you considered becoming a Thai citizen?
Yes, I have. But even that, there are certain rules and laws, you know. It's not as simple as, you know, I don't want to say the system's bad, but what I mean is...
Cumbersome.
It's a lot more transparent in... some foreign countries, like for example in UK, you spend a certain amount of years living there, working there, you'll automatically be eligible for the citizenship and you'll go through the process and get it. In Thailand, it's not as simple as that. You need to be a tax-paying citizen for a certain amount of years, and you need to be in a certain bracket of how much you earn. So it's high-earning foreigners or visa holders.
Passed that one.
So you have to go through the long process. It's been 20 years strong, and hopefully soon I will try to apply.
Can you sing the Thai national anthem?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so that's one thing that you have to do to become a Thai citizen.
Yes, well, that was one thing I had to do to become a permanent resident.
Oh, okay.
To sing the Thai national anthem as well as the King song, go through a couple of interviews.
You have to do the...
I used to live in Phuket at that time. I was a kid. I think I got it when I was about 16, and used to fly down to Bangkok to do the interviews and go through the process. I understand. You know, you do what you got to do.
Anyway, back to the Elite. The Elite program. It's now called the Flexible Plus program. And it includes, there are so many categories here, the Thailand Elite Card, the Elite Ultimate Privilege. There's people with the Elite Card who are getting it. Where's my card? The Elite Superiority Extension. I want that one.
Okay.
I want the Elite Superiority Extension.
Card, yeah.
And the Elite Privilege Access. Now, all of those will be granted the right to work in Thailand. But, there's always a but. They're going to have to invest $1 million.
That's right. Cardholders receive these privileges if they apply for one of the 3 types of cards worth 1 or 2 million baht and invest at least 1 million baht in either real estate, a limited company, or a public company, or the stock exchange.
So yeah, if you want to buy a condo in Thailand, then that's going to get you over the bar already. Pretty much. That's a pretty expensive condo, though. 32 million baht is going to buy you a very nice condo. Carmel, you've got a comment.
Oh yeah, this is from PG Santa. He asked, what if my job is 100% remote and I'm working wherever I want? Do I still need a work visa to work in Thailand?
Technically, yes.
Yes.
But in reality, a lot of people, I'm sure, get out their laptops when they're sitting at their local favourite coffee shop, which may indeed serve coffee culture coffee.
Well,
and they perhaps do a bit of trading, a bit of cryptocurrency, selling a few drugs online, whatever it might be, and don't disclose their business activities or their tax situation. I'm absolutely sure that happens.
For anyone who does watch Good Morning Thailand or any of our shows, it'll take you just about a week to realize that we have an issue of law enforcement in Thailand.
Yes.
The laws are there, they're just not enforced. They're rather encouraged.
So here's a thing. If you've got $1 million to invest in Thailand, that's 32 million baht approximately, and you've got enough money to buy one of these elite visas, which is another 500,000,
expensive,
2 million baht or so. Do you really think that you need to work?
I guess not. Yeah, that's true.
You're not really going to be the type of person that's saying, "Oh, I'm really struggling. I'm going to have to work." I suppose
some
it's-
people do it out of boredom,
Sure, and I think that's good because even if you want to be a volunteer in Thailand,
Yep.
and there are plenty of great charities that you could volunteer with, you still legally require a work permit. So it's not easy to work in Thailand. The only way you can do it legally is with a work permit. I think this is a very expensive way to get a work permit.
Well, at least it's guaranteed because work permits aren't always guaranteed. And of course, there's a lot of paperwork.
Surprise, surprise. Consult a visa agent or your lawyer if you want to get one, or you work for a company, a nice, generous company like us that does the work for you. So now the other thing is that they're targeting, you won't be surprised by the countries they're targeting with this new elite privileged superiority visa, whatever it's called.
Okay.
China, Japan,
China.
the UK, Hong Kong, I thought Hong Kong is China, Russia, France, the US, and Singapore. So those people are the ones who are being targeted. The TAT, by the way, run the elite program. So
Love the TAT.
adore them. They're FOT, Friends of Thaiger.
I actually do like them. I do.
They give us plenty to talk about, don't they?
Yep.
So there you go. That's a way that you can get a work visa. Woo!
Our last topic before the break is regarding the Thailand Pass. Yes.
Oh, I've got a really good idea.
What's up?
We could charge all the foreigners
Yes.
like $1 million to work here. We'll give you a work permit, but you've got to give us $1 million.
Actually, we'll do one better. We'll give them a 20% discount and call it 800,000.
Yeah, I think that's dollars, by the way, not baht. I think this is a really good program.
Yeah.
I just noticed one of our staff is taken on your Lumberjack Friday
Yes, he has.
paradigm.
Yes, he has. So does Natty from time to time.
He doesn't wear lumberjack.
Yes, she
shirt.
does.
She does?
She wore it once.
She's a lumberjill, not a lumberjack.
Okay.
Anyway, you wanted to talk about the
Yes.
Thailand Pass.
Yes, last topic before we go to the break is the Thailand Pass. Now, we were talking yesterday about how the Thailand Pass was having some issues once again. People were getting spammed with fake emails. So the Prime Minister has come out and addressed this. He has called for officials to improve the Thailand Pass because tourists are essential to Thailand, Tim.
Sure, and the numbers have sort of sagged after they reopened the test and go.
Mm-hmm.
The numbers of people coming to Thailand haven't really been sort of rising or surging in the way that the TAT would hope.
Yes.
They were still, I noticed that the governor of the TAT was still hoping that they would surpass 10 million people this year, which I think is optimistic to say the least, given that when everything was sort of at its peak back in 2019, there was just under, like it was 39,600,000 people coming to Thailand. So 10 million, even though that's a long way from, it's a quarter of the people in 2019. If they got 10 million people through the Thailand turnstiles this year, I would be extremely surprised.
Yes, well, let's recap the problem quickly. The email database collected through the Thailand Pass system has appeared to be compromised, as some applicants have reportedly received spoof emails warning them that there is a problem with the request. The email asks the applicant to download a document, but only from the PC. Now, the government has later come out with a notice warning applicants about the email, saying it does not come from the Thailand Pass, the security is compromised, and privacy of your personal information. So do be careful when you do get these spoof emails. But like always, they're on it. They're going to try to fix it. They're also trying to make it more convenient. So hopefully they got on it quick because the Prime Minister is right. Tourists are essential. And the last thing you'd want is privacy of their personal information being leaked.
The other thing is we should always remind people that there is no cost for the Thailand Pass.
Yes,
I mean,
it is free.
There are things that you have to pay for to get a Thailand Pass, like you've got to pre-book your accommodation and your PCR tests, but there's actually no cost to apply for a Thailand Pass, unless, of course, you consult an agent. And they'll do all the hard work for you, but you'll pay them for the pleasure. Carmel.
This is from Text Symbol. It's about the pass. For God's sake, just drop the bloody pass. No other country has this pass.
Well, that's not quite right. Increasingly, there are things that you have to do to get into different countries, Australia being one of them. They're introducing a new online application that you have to do before you get into the country. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how they unwind the current Thailand Pass. There's just so much opposition to it. Even if they said, look, all you've got to do is load up your name and your passport number to come into the country.
My passport number?
Your date of arrival, even if it's just that information. I'm wondering if people go, oh, I'm not going to put that information online. They're quite happy to arrive in the country and give their passport to a foreign gentleman to put stamps over it and take pictures of it, but they wouldn't be happy to upload it. I think the Thailand Pass is probably going to stay around for a while, even if they reduce all the restrictions and hassles. Is that putting your hand up, Carmel, or are you just...
No, she's just flicking her hair.
Just flicking her hair.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
We just want to confirm, Carmel has hair.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please, once again, go to the Thaiger main page, click on community to take part on our survey.
Oh, the survey.
Yeah, we'll read out the results after the break because it's now time to take a break. Also, please click the like button if you're enjoying the video so far. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back. You're watching Good Morning Thailand with Jay and Tim.
We've got the results of the survey so far, and you can continue to vote.
Yes, you can. You can continue to vote. Before we get started, after the break, Tim, I'd like to give a quick shout out to Akshay Ram, who became a Thaiger member.
Thank you.
Just yesterday.
Oh, that's fantastic. What was the name?
Akshay Ram.
Okay, thank you very much. We do appreciate your support of the Thaiger and Good Morning Thailand.
That's
well,
right.
all our programs actually.
Yeah. Members will get special perks, as in special previews of videos that come out 2 weeks later, 1 to 2 weeks later on Bounce, as well as at Discord. So this is a message to all the members. Today I will be doing another Discord session in the afternoon. So if you do have some time, come to our Discord server. And
when you say you're doing Discord, that mean you're going to sing out of tune or something?
No, it means I'm going to go to an application called Discord, where we have a little community building up.
Technology.
That's right, and we can have voice conversations with each other.
You're having a one-on-one with the members.
That's right.
So I'm also going to be doing a video on the weekend just for members. Natty has, what is her real official name? Is it?
Warisa.
But is it Natty?
It's Natty.
Natty is her actual
Natty
name.
is her nickname.
So we can't call her Natalie because that's not correct.
I call her Natalie because it's too much information, but her mum wanted to call her Natalie.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course. My mum wanted to call me Natalie too.
Yeah. Everyone's mum wants to call them Natalie.
Yeah, but she decided on Tim instead.
Yes.
Anyway, I was saying that.
Natalia.
She's doing a video that is exclusive to members this weekend as well.
That's right.
That will later be seen on Bounce in about 2 weeks. So yeah, there's a lot to... also members get discounts off our merchandise.
Yes, Thaiger Legends.
Yes. So, do you want the results? I'll just refresh just to give you the very latest results.
Oh, and one last thing. Thank you again to Coffee Culture for sponsoring the show. You can visit coffeeculture.asia to find your bag of roast coffee. You can also buy their tasting kit before you invest on the big bags.
Check out these sexy mugs too.
All right.
All right.
Yes, survey time.
What's the main things stopping you from travelling to Thailand at the moment? We gave people 5 options. I'm going to start with the least popular option, with 6% of the vote, and it's not just a good time. It's just not a good time to travel anywhere at the moment. Was the least popular answer, with 7%, only just slightly more popular. Not planning to travel right now, but I'm planning a trip later. The next most popular answer was, with 8%, too many curbs like mask wearing and nightlife restrictions. So these 2 next ones get the highest number of votes. With 14% of the total vote. Things keep changing. Difficult to make concrete plans.
Yep.
I think we can see that in the way that people comment on a lot of our stories at the Thaiger. That seems to be popular. But this one, 64%, like we would call that a vast majority, nearly 2/3 of the votes say that there's too many hassles and red tape with the Thailand Pass. So there you go. That's the results of the survey. How many people? Nearly 500 votes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much in half an hour. Not bad.
Talking about too many restrictions, Wednesday was a public holiday. It was Makabusha Day, which also meant that there was no alcohol being served that day. You couldn't buy alcohol from any convenience store, and it also happened to be full moon. And Tim, you made a comment that unfortunately the full moon party wouldn't take place on Wednesday.
No, I didn't say that. I just said it's going to be a bit of a downer for the
Yes.
full moon party.
Well, they actually held it yesterday.
That's
right.
smart.
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy this footage. And if you are, Tim, I'm going to show you as well, if you are worried that Thailand has any problems with restrictions or social distancing or mask wearing and that
Yeah.
you can't enjoy yourselves.
Look at all those masks.
Yeah.
And people are at least 2 metres apart.
Of course.
Even though they're jumping up and down, they're very well distanced.
Yeah.
And
This
there's
is definite-
no
yeah.
threat of spreading any disease there.
Of course not. Come on, Tim.
And
The full moon is out. We must party.
So they could have named it the not quite the full moon party. But that was sensible to move the full moon party away from the Buddhist holiday. And so good luck to those people on Hud Rin Beach in Phang Nga. And they'll be doing all that again in about 29, 30 days.
Yeah.
This month's only got 28 days.
Yes.
That's a real hassle for a company like us with our monthly reports because we lose 3 days of income. It's 10% less income. So it's okay though because we're paying everybody 10% less. That's fair.
That seems fair.
Yes.
All right. Tim, I have a story here that's about smoking. Now, I know that you are... Not only you don't smoke, but... you don't like smoking. Or tobacco consumption. And that's okay.
No, that's not.
Not
quite
that
right.
you frown upon it, but
I don't smoke.
if you see someone smoking, you just throw things at them
That doesn't happen.
until they stop.
Allegedly. I would usually remove myself from a room if people were smoking. But
Yes.
that happens less and less these days.
Yes.
I mean, you can't smoke inside in Thailand. I should mention that to some of the people in the office here. But generally, no. My mother used to smoke, and she used to pay me. She used to pay me to go and buy her cigarettes. And being a little brat that I was,
Buy yourself a chocolate while
I used to
you're-
lecture her about her smoking. I didn't like it. I didn't in those days, mid 1960s. There wasn't a lot of information about how dangerous smoking was.
Yeah, doctors used to smoke.
But I yes. So what's wrong with you? Just tell us. I can see it. But no, yeah. So tell us about smoking anyway.
Well, Thai cabinet has okayed a 5-year plan to lower tobacco consumption. And Thailand is going to step further than the graphic photos on packs of cigarettes. Anyone who's ever bought cigarettes in Thailand knows that they have some absolutely shocking, gruesome graphic pictures on every tobacco pack. Like pictures of children being born, from a mother who used to smoke, people with like the hole in the throat because they smoke too much. They're really graphic pictures.
But do you think really that any of that is a deterrent?
Yes.
So I
It
don't
worked-
know.
For example, it worked on someone, a close loved one in my family. They saw the pictures and they just couldn't take it, so they just stopped buying the pack.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm slightly surprised. I would have thought there's enough information about why smoking is bad for you. But if you really want to smoke, I would have thought they just say, "I'll have a packet of Peter Stuyvesant." I don't know what the brands are these days. And, you okay there? You coughing? Do you have the... Oh, no, I'm not allowed to ask you that question, am I? I don't know. I think I'd just take the pack. I wouldn't even look at the front. Carmel's got a
Carmel's
response.
got a question.
This is from West TX Greg.
It's West Texas, Greg.
Wait, sorry, Texas Greg. They used to promote smoking as being positive, healthy, and sexy.
Yeah, well, that in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s.
Have you ever seen Mad Men?
Yeah, everybody's smoking. But that's what happened. I mean, in TV series,
Marlboro
people
Man.
were just smoking their way through the programs. These days, of course, you still see a little bit of smoking, but it's really frowned upon. People jump on it.
Yeah, they would pay, even in motion pictures, they would pay celebrities to smoke on camera, like James Bond or something, to make it cool, and then they eventually banned that.
Yeah, and rightfully so, because we now know how dangerous smoke is. I'm going to be interested in the next 10 or 20 years to find out what's happened over the past 20 or 30 years that we thought was okay, that we later learn is dangerous. What do you think that's going to be?
Racism, but nothing's changed.
No, I'm talking about things that we consume.
Okay.
Is it going to be pad thais give you cancer or something like that?
Whoa.
But by the way, that's complete rubbish.
That's
but it's a really ridiculous.
Yes. It's in the
metaphor.
Oxford Dictionary now.
It's in the Oxford
It's
Dictionary.
been approved.
Official. But I mean, what do we consume at the moment that they're going to discover later that there are major health problems?
All right. Well, the Thai cabinet has approved a 5-year roadmap focusing on lowering tobacco consumption to help improve overall public health. The plan, with a 498 million baht budget, will start this year and end in 2027. So this is it. Now, I'm going to quickly go through them. First one, the plan to curb smoking has 6 strategies. One is, of course, consumption regulation, enhance public awareness and harmful effects of smoking.
Yeah.
This one I liked. Assistance for those who want to quit smoking, and they've allocated 51 million baht for that. I think that's a good step.
That at least is a positive measure. All the
Yes.
other ones so far have just been broad statements that
Yes.
don't mean much.
Disclosure of tobacco product contents. I don't think anyone who smokes cares what actually is inside there.
But then again, I think telling people or publishing or advertising what's in cigarettes is a good idea. I mean, the more people have information about these things they're putting in their mouth, the better.
But then they need education on what, whatever the chemical it is that they've put in there. Anyways, number 5, smoking bans in public places. I think Thailand's still quite all right regarding smoking in public areas.
And it's pretty well enforced, but if not by police, by people giving you a pretty ugly stare.
People are quite polite here when they go
Yeah.
off to the side somewhere to smoke.
So you've got, the office buildings with the people out the front having a quick fag.
And the last one, which I think is the most important one, is tobacco tax reform and crackdown on illegal tobacco sales. Tobacco tax reform, if you just add an insane amount of tax to it, the numbers will go down.
Yeah, I think that's probably been the most popular one. It's good for the governments because they get some extra revenue.
And then
it
crack
is
down on the illegal tobacco sales.
Yes, that also, like the southern border of Thailand is
Yes,
just
Malaysia.
rife with people bringing over cheap cigarettes from south.
Well, good cigarettes, just cheaply.
Okay, I won't ask that question.
All right.
What? Any comments about cigarettes there, Carmel?
Not really about cigarettes, but its text symbol said that breathing the air in Bangkok is more dangerous.
It was yesterday. It was actually a real. We used to call it a pea super.
Yes.
What? It was nothing like inhaling a cigarette.
Yes.
But I'm glad to report today that we can see a lot further. I can see about 5 or 10 kilometres into the distance today. So much improved weather in the capital of Thailand today.
Binoculars for eyes, 5 to 10 kilometers.
Yeah, there you go. I can see a building in the distance there.
You just guess that it's 10
I'll
kilometers
point the
away.
Thai way. I won't
Fair
point
enough.
the Farang way.
Okay.
But yes, much improved over yesterday in the Thai capital, formerly known as Bangkok, now known as Krung Thep Mahan Nakhon.
That's right. Last story for today is regarding a man was rescued after hanging from a cliff overnight.
So he spent,
And he-
24 hours? Sort of.
No, he actually spent there, I think, almost 2 nights.
Oh, dear.
Yes, and he held himself up by tying his shirt to trees.
Yeah.
What a hero.
I'd be sort of keeping one eye open during the night, just hoping that tree's going to hang on to the cliff.
Yeah. I'll tell you the quick story. So on Tuesday, a 47-year-old man decided to explore a cave in the Khao Hua Chang forest.
Where's that?
Excellent question, no idea.
It's in Patalung in southern Thailand.
Is it really?
Yes, it is.
Patalung.
Patalung.
Okay. He says he saw a light coming from the top of the cave and climbed up to explore. But it led to a high cliff.
Well, he never got to discover what was causing the light from the cave.
Yes.
But he did get stuck and spent 2 nights with a good view.
Yeah, and then he realized that, this is a very steep... this is a very steep climb. I don't think I can make it down. So he just kind of stood there. just kind of hung himself there with a T-shirt.
Carmel.
Someone said, Nicholas Audatzis said cliffhanger.
Boom.
He is a cliff.
It was a cliffhanger story, but we do have a resolution to the story.
Yes.
By the way, Patalung, if you sort of know where Phuket is, if you go directly to the east to the Gulf of Thailand coast, that's roughly where Patalung is.
Yes. He was spotted eventually by tourists by the Khao Yai Hua Chang Reservoir, and more than 50 people actually teamed up for an hour-long rescue to bring him down.
Yeah, we know what that means. That means there's going to be about 48 people there just with a beer, sitting back and going, see how this goes, and then 2 people going up to get him down. That's what would have happened.
Yeah, but what a hero. I mean, yes, he was sent to the hospital for a medical checkup. He was still, he could still communicate when he came down, and he seemed all right, but he's gone for checkups. So more information on that on thetiger.com if you are interested on that topic.
I think in the ambulance he would have been saying, can we just stop off at 7-Eleven? I haven't eaten for 2 days. I wouldn't mind a quick pad CU or something.
But he's not a crazy man or something. He seems quite sane. Like he often climbs those cliffs to go up and meditate.
Looking for lights coming out of caves.
Well, maybe he thought it was a sign. I would if I lived next, and it's also near a monastery, I believe.
We do hear abseiling or climbing up rock faces is quite a popular thing in Thailand.
Yes,
because there are some really good cliffs and some fantastic. Do you think it really matters, Carmel, if you run? I mean, you're part of the show.
Yes.
Carmel's rushing off to the toilet.
Oh no.
So
Carmel.
we had to share that with you. So Carmel, what's the latest? Oh, she's not there.
Yeah. Carmel, come on.
So the show's finished. Carmel's gone.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break. Once we come back from the break, we'll address a few quick questions before
I don't know how we're going to do that. She's not here.
We'll have to do it solo.
We'll have to do it manually.
We'll have to do it the OG style. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you do have any questions for Tim or me or for any of the regarding any of the stories today, please leave them in the comment section below.
Right question, that helps.
Yes, we'll be back right after this.
Find the coffee roast you love most. Coffee Culture delivers Thai coffee online. Whole beans or pre-ground delivered to your doorstep in Thailand. Go to coffeeculture.asia and get coffee you love delivered to your doorstep.
Welcome back. You're watching Good Morning Thailand with Jay and Tim.
American Anthem 2022 says, hey, Tim, do you have the heart to rock climb? I've abseiled once on a real rock face with people helping me.
Yep.
I don't really have a fear of heights, but I sort of was halfway up thinking, what's the point? But I've done it inside, those rock climbing walls. Mm-hmm. I've done the sort of beginners ones. I've done that quite with great success.
Yeah.
I enjoy the quick abseil down. Not so much the climbing up.
PP and Krabi are very popular for rock climbing. I've done a lot of rock climbing in my time.
Yeah. Have you really?
Yeah.
Okay. Carmel is a blonde, says Nong Wasu.
Okay.
Well, good luck with that.
Yeah. Paul Shackleton has got a great idea for our next bounce video. He says, question Jay, agree to have Natty get your chest waxed for the bounce channel and boost the member numbers. Who would wait 2 weeks to see that? Have you ever seen the 40-Year-Old Virgin, the famous movie?
Steve Carell.
That made Steve Carell come into the mainstream media?
Yeah, I saw Steve interviewed about that, and he said, I'm actually really, really hairy. He said, when you've got sort of the first man here, sort of stooped down, and the original apes, and then you've got modern man here, he says he's about there.
Yeah, and fun fact, he actually decided to do it for real for the first time on camera so that his reactions would be authentic. For anyone who didn't know that.
Yes, I think we could say, by the way, that Natty doesn't need waxing.
Yes. No, Natty would wax me.
Oh, wax you?
Yes, wax me.
Well, I think that could be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you think?
And I thought you were going to wax Natty.
No. The idea was for Natty to wax my chest.
Oh, I'm sorry, I misheard.
Oh, no.
All right, Carmel.
What kind of a video did you think that would be?
I don't know.
GRF Store kept asking this throughout the live stream, actually. Tim, I'm really curious to know why you don't have a PR yet. Did you ever apply? What's the obstacle?
Okay, so I've been in Thailand for 10 years and I've had a work permit for about 8 of those 10 years. through the various companies. It doesn't actually interest me getting permanent residency at the moment. It doesn't really give you, as Jay mentioned earlier, many opportunities or additional opportunities. I suppose the biggest encumbrance of a work permit is you still got to go down to immigration every 90 days and do a report to immigration.
But that's for visa.
Well, yeah. Well, so that's not my work permit, but that's my visa.
Oh, okay.
But if you have a work permit under a B visa, you have to go to immigration every 90 days. So as a permanent resident, do you have to go to immigration? Okay, so that's one thing. That, I don't know, is about the only advantage I think I could get by having permanent residency.
It's only when I want to go outside the country.
And that the process to get permanent residency is quite arduous, including being able to conduct conversational Thai, which I can't. I couldn't even fake it if I wanted to. I certainly can't even sing the national anthem, although I do like the national anthem. I enjoy hearing it sung. The King's Anthem, I hear that every time I go to the theatre.
To the cinemas,
I could sort of hum it for you, but there's no way I can... I mean, I could probably parrot both of those. But the conversational Thai, they'd be asking me, well, you know, what do you think about Thailand? And I'd be going, I've got no idea what you're saying.
Di mak mak.
Yeah.
Pom rak patet Thai.
So that's the reason. No, it doesn't actually sort of interest me.
All right.
Next one. Oh,
yes.
sorry.
Go on.
Next one's from PG Santa. You guys gave up on the new set that fast.
Oh, on the new set. What is he talking about?
The new set.
For Good Morning Thailand?
The couch when you
Couch?
What couch?
Couch?
We'll pretend
don't
like
know.
it wasn't a set.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
They're clearly insane. Reed says, I don't have fear of heights. What are rock climbing? But the people below me do after I threaten to jump and take them with me. Thank you very much. Is tax lower for citizens, PR, compared to non-citizens and PR? I don't know 100%. This is RZO, or AAZO. Do you pay less tax as a permanent resident than I do as a foreigner?
No. It depends on your job. It depends on how much you earn. So, yeah.
The tax rate's exactly the same. The taxes are not that high, actually, compared to when I used to work in Australia. They used to take a really big whack of tax out of my salary, but less so here for the same amount. Carmel.
Reed asked about the Discord. Is that a Discord lumberjack community?
No, it's a members community, so all members are welcome to that Discord. But yes, especially lumberjack fans as well. The best thing was when I worked in the Middle East, 0% income tax.
Ryan Bishop says, idea, morning show should be all hands, the whole crew. So, what do you want?
You mean everyone?
Everybody on camera.
Everybody, just 40 people, 40 staff members, everybody in.
Yeah, we do still need someone to press
have them
the
as
buttons.
a background. So now we've got Cityscape as a background. We need the Thaiger crew as a background.
By the way, this is a backdrop, just in case you didn't know.
If we were in mid-COVID and we were at a stadium, maybe we could have like a LED screen with like all of their Zoom call faces in the back.
But we do need people to press the buttons. We need Carmel, the voice of God.
Yes.
We need our makeup people,
Messiah.
the wardrobe
Prophet.
department. Yeah, we still got to have the prophet, the voice from above.
Yes.
We still got to have the lighting crew, the people making the coffees.
Yeah.
The people looking after the catering van.
Yeah, makeup, hair.
It's huge team.
Huge.
Carmel.
Family Ties asked, how did you guys get into news reporting?
Okay. Well, do you have 3 or 4 hours?
All right, that's the last question for today. So we'll end up with a little nice question to end on.
Well, news reporting. I started the Thaiger back in October 2016. It was initially just an FM radio station. I actually have a news background that goes back back to when I was 23. So a lot of that was news reading on radio stations in Australia. One called Triple M, one called Fox, and another one called K Rock, I think. I can't really remember now, but we actually had one newsroom, but we had 3 radio stations we serviced. And there were 3 different demographics, so we had to rewrite the scripts to be a bit more hip for Triple M, which was young people, rocky jockeys.
Start wearing a beanie and stuff like,
And
yo, bro.
For the older stations, the bulletins were longer and a little bit more formal, so we had to sort of, put a jacket on to read those ones. But then the whole Thaiger opportunity came up when we purchased the old Phuket Gazette. Mm-hmm. They had an existing news website. So that's sort of where it all started. Everything that you see about the increase in traffic and the broadening into video and doing Thai news and stuff has all sort of happened literally within 5 or 6 years.
Wow, cool.
So I've sort of been a bit of a news whore most of my life.
Okay. All right.
That's the truth. And you, Jay?
I had never done news until I started working for the Thaiger. I thought I would be making independent movies and soon realized that I would be a broke bum if I didn't sell my life to the commercial media. And then I started making commercial videos for TAT. That's what I used to do before I worked with Thaiger.
Selling your soul.
I used to promote Thailand, Thai food in European countries. It was nice. You'd go fly around with them, promote Thailand, promote Thai food, whatever they wanted. And
now you're a bum reading the news instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
With your lumberjack
back to
shirt.
basics, back to where I belong.
A gentleman whose name I probably need 5 minutes to work out says, can we see a picture of Tim when he was young with more hair? There are pictures existing. I actually posted one on my Facebook this morning.
He used to have blonde locks up to his shoulder, believe it or not. That is truth.
And
that
I had
100% truth. There is proof for it, and we'll give it to you when we reach 150,000 subscribers.
Okay, I'll admit to that. I'll go with that. We'll show you pictures of me with hair if we get 150,000 subscribers.
You know what? That's still going to be a while. How about if we reach?
No.
How about if we reach
No.
250 members. Currently, we're at 192.
150. I've agreed to 150. So come on, subscribe.
I will make it happen. 250 members, I'll make it happen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for the show today. We hope you've enjoyed today's episode. We hope you've had a great time. If you have, please click the like button. Please share the video. Please subscribe. It really helps us. And we hope you have a good Friday. We hope you even have a better weekend. So thank you, Tim.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you, listener.
Yeah, thank you, Num, behind the buttons. Thank you to Carmel. And thank you to all the other Thaiger staff in case I've missed them out. It's all hands on deck. And thank you to the viewers. Have a great day.